Welcome back to Modern Fossil, the final episode of Trials and Tribulations, the final episode of the trilogy.
The final episode of Season 1
Yes,
of Modern Fossil.
final episode of Season 1. Okay, we'll wait to a good start because the controller just unplugged. A typical Season 1 episode.
Classic Modern Fossil.
We're going to see what happens to everything.
Okay.
Everything comes to a point here.
All right.
Within this next 6 hours. 6-hour episode. All right, here we go.
Please tell me it's not 6 hours.
It's 6 hours.
You said 2 hours.
I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me. But I was missing all days, and we didn't even have a chance to talk.
She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern.
I wanted to at least be in the defense box today to root you on.
Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did?
Huh?
If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there.
My sister... I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother, never got any love from her father either.
Oh, God. We have to pull out all the stops. Sorry.
Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her.
Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago?
Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up...
That was the case that wounded Mia so badly.
But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder.
Some people. You must mean...
Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dolly even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You.
That's right. Iris. There's one more thing I have to ask you.
Yes? What is it?
On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Stoneham, was it really you?
Yes. It was me. At night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple. But
The path to the inner temple was cut off, right?
exactly. We can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say. Got it? It was me. I was the one who received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed so much. The staff that Mr. Gleese always held.
I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile. It's on the snowmobile. The snowmobile. It's on the snowmobile. It's on the snowmobile.
Oh my god.
The body. The body.
Thanks for watching Modern Fossilized Journey Trials and Tribulations. That is the end. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment below, and hit that bell so you can get notified every time we upload.
I'm gonna have to restart the game. Oh, it's such a pranks to you. I can't believe you did that to me.
Yep,
man.
that was me, alright.
Oh, man. You always get me with those. Every single time, every single time, every single time, every single time. Fuck, it's not even going off right now.
Oh, man. Oh, shit.
Oh, shoot, dude. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, so it's an interesting story so far, man. You know, it's just...
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an interesting story anyway, but okay. I can carry that. I bought the bad. Let's restart again! Fuck it, we're doing live! I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile.
But why? Why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Mystic Missy. But so, I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with a shichito. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground.
Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it.
I see.
Victim staff has a sword hidden inside the actual weapon used to murder the victim.
God, you would think that this is my first episode. Defendant! Yes? The judge is calling you! He wants to see you in his chambers! He's got some questions about Dolly Hawthorne! Alright. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you.
Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me.
You got mustard on your shirt. Fuck, I skipped your line.
So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix. Mia! How's Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean she's learned who Elise Stoneham really was? Yes. I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew. But why? Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still, I think that just maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the inner temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura Temple's side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the inner temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? Who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me. All by myself.
That's the end of the finale. See you guys next game.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, a bit anticlimactic, I know. Holy shit, there's an epilogue!
Whoa!
Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier.
Tests?
Yes, tests on the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree.
Oh yeah! That! I totally forgot about it.
That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim.
So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood or...
Due to the time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial.
Wait, at the beginning?
So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it?
Dagger found stuck in a pine tree in the inner temple garden. The blood doesn't match the victims.
I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims.
I understand, Your Honor.
From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quickly.
Agreed.
Very well. Please bring in the last witness.
Dun dun dun.
Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at the Vatican Law Offices.
Maya.
According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Kurain channeling technique.
I'm frightened. The fake lamp. I don't want any more to do with it.
Oh, Maya. The pain the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable.
Very well. Now then, Miss Fey. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple. And you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Stonham's murder. Is this correct?
I didn't see any... Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen?
Witness, if you please.
Yes, Your Honor. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" And something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness.
So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff.
Maya! The person who hit you! It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I didn't know who it was.
Maya, think hard.
Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone.
It seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination.
Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all.
I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened.
Who else was on the inner temple side that night?
Well, Sister Bikini, of course, but I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well.
On the day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said?
Well, let me think.
She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired.
No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Suddenly someone struck me over the head.
Who did it? Who hit you?
I did not. Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind.
You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was?
Let me think for a sec. I'm sorry. I just can't remember.
Maya's really having a hard time. What should I do?
You know, always gotta go. I feel like in this game you just gotta press at it.
Come on, Maya! This isn't making sense! Why didn't you see this person?
Let me think. It was, oh yeah, that's right. It was dark. That's it.
It was dark?
that good to have too much light around when someone is undergoing spiritual training.
Come to think of it, there was earlier testimony to that effect as well. So it was dark in the garden on the night of the crime.
Which is why she didn't see her attacker. I thought maybe she was trying to hide something, but I guess not.
Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely
The spirit that was channeled by Elise Donham, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Very well. Please continue with your testimony. What happened after you was struck on the head?
I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern.
What happened afterwards?
My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape. I think.
You think?
After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at the time.
Well now, this is beginning to get interesting.
So what were the two things rolling around in your mind?
My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was.
That's not hard at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, what did you do then?
I think I screamed, "Help me! Help! Help!"
You think you screamed, but you're not sure?
Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, adult, a child?
A Muppet?
I have no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Oh, fuck. It sounded like Fonzie.
Fozzie.
Yeah.
If it was
Fonzie.
if it was Fonzie, it'd be, believe me, my dear. I'm certain I would have soiled my robes, eh?
Objection, it's actually Fozzie Bear. Wait a second, I know who the killer is.
It's the judge. It's Frank Judge.
Oh, no.
Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes.
I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought it was my last hope.
Wow, sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? My last hope. Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff?
Sounds pretty fucking pathetic, man. What did you write that in your diary? You fucking weirdo.
You little fucking child.
What? What do you mean by your last hope?
No. That's what you said. You said my last hope.
Huh? What? I said what?
Oh my god. Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me!"
The
fucking hell?
Jesus Christ. I feel like the cat has fucking like goes on a fucking panic attack every time you're here. Yeah?
But you testify that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope.
Well, you know, that's like, what do you call it when that happens?
Maya's not doing so well up there.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at.
What did you just say?
Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to for help. Ah!
What is it now?
I missed up. I didn't even know that this slipped out.
Huh?
Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person?
I am. Well, I meant to keep that part secret. What have I done? It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. A ton of pressure? You're in the court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber.
Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony.
I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern.
A man? Who was this man?
Well, you see, I couldn't see.
You couldn't see. She's used this excuse twice now.
Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright.
Lantern light? Did you say?
There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training. Hey, you know what they say, under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker, who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time. Something warm splashed over me.
You don't mean... Was it...
Yeah, there's a guy wearing a suit with a fake mustache saying, "Wake the fuck up!"
You played a game!
Played a game!
You fat fuck!
Played a game! I didn't know what he was talking about. What fucking game? I don't know. I didn't know at the
You
time.
played a fucking game!
Tony!
Hey, Tony! You fat fuck!
I didn't know it at the time, but I think it was probably blood.
Is she saying that's when Miss Donham, who was channeling Dahlia, was stabbed in the back by the killer?
At that moment, I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood cut on everything around me. That's when I lost consciousness.
So what happened next?
I don't remember. Were you saved? You don't even remember that? No. I haven't got any idea. I really don't know what happened at all. That's too bad.
I've worked side by side with Maya for 2 years now. I can tell when she's trying to hide something by how she acts. And right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something.
What am I doing?
Okay. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prepper when it happened.
Yes.
Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. Okay.
Yes.
I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern.
Yes.
I think I screamed, "Help me."
Here's a new statement.
I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern.
Yes.
Okay. Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. All right. Let's go to the evidence.
Okay.
No. You know. I don't think this matters.
Okay.
No. 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 No.
It's like I'm scrolling contender right now.
No. Was not lit the night of the crime. Boom.
Oh, God! How did he get it?
So there was a man standing behind your attacker.
Yeah.
That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Donham, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother.
A killer?
Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you?
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
To be frank, well, you're frank, Your Honor.
The tables turned. I'm no freak.
I'm
Freak
Frank
right.
Phoenix Wright. I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
What do you mean? What problem?
Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission.
Huh? What?
It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night.
No!
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Goto, explain this.
Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe a la lay.
Cafe au lait? Is that even legal?
As Detroit's words are the milk, and you are the spoon, Your Honor.
I'm a spoon! I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know.
You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that.
Sorry, but that's not gonna cut it.
What did you say?
If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony.
Heck.
May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. And she quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person. Despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker.
No!
Order! 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 What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright?
Uh-oh. There goes some sort of certificate.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene. What?
I'm just gonna let it play out. I'm not even gonna say what I'm thinking.
Okay.
There are some things you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godo. Maya, did you see who the killer was in the dark? No, you did see who the killer was in the dark, and now you're trying to cover for him.
could cover for the man that killed her mother?
There's only one conclusion I can draw from this.
Oh my god. No fucking way.
You know who this man is.
Please. Nick. I don't know anything. Please. I'm begging you. Huh. You talk a good game, Trite. Let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black. So what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No. Nick, don't! Please! Stop!
Maya's dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth.
All right, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness?
Who's the killer?
Oh shit. Oh man. Holy shit. I don't know how. I don't know why. But I know who the killer is.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say it confidently, even though I could be wrong.
Could be wrong. History shows that you could be wrong.
The real killer was one Diego Armando. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh man, okay.
Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see it for itself. How this is possible, yes?
What? But how do you propose to show us something like that?
Oh my god. These guys want to turn off the fucking lights.
It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night.
Conditions?
Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off.
What? This is... But it can't be...
That was a nice bit of deduction. Right.
Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder.
Order! 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 Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it?
Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person.
What do you mean by that?
If you got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights?
Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong. I never saw that.
Maya!
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason.
Wait, what the fuck?
What?
What the fuck?
Witness, my mayor.
Stop your chattering, Your Honor.
Chattering?
If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
All right. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but...
You smelled like Axe body spray.
Oh! He voted in the snow. He pissed in the snow.
Wait, so Goto isn't the fucking murderer?
That's what Maya saying. You fucking idiot. How did you go in there for a second, fucking idiot, dude?
Damn.
When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. And all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person who did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man?
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Goto said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor.
So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right?
Yes, I think. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed.
So then the person that carried you into the inner temple...
It could only have been the killer.
That's what I think too.
So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple.
By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed.
Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
I don't know.
It looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her.
Again. The torches were lit, and the body was gone.
The torches were lit?
Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed.
I'm gonna say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be?
The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body?
That's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya.
Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene.
And all the snow all around the... And all the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too.
So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
There were a lot of shovels around in the temple, but they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use.
An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away?
Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah. The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered.
In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation.
Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount.
That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood.
It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue.
But I think this will help explain them. Since the person who did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
So you're saying that you never saw the killer, right?
Yes.
But earlier you very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker.
Nick, I'm sorry.
The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. But for what purpose? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on.
Yeah, and then this.
Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something.
You did?
Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me. For my sake.
What? Hiding it for you?
Everyone knew that I was the only one in the temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden...
She may have thought that you had done it.
No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened.
Yes. I'm sure of it.
Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what happened.
They did it for your sake?
Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right?
Yes, I suppose that's true.
Yeah, and if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. Master of Karain killed by own daughter? I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it.
But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you?
Alright, so what am I doing?
Okay. When I came to, it was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. I think it was for my sake that the
Sake.
killer... What?
It's for my sake.
That the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. And all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up, too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
Alright, and this is the news
So
thing.
Godo isn't the killer, he was trying to protect her? Or he could be the killer and was trying to protect her.
Yeah, that could be possible.
Oh my god, what? I think it was for my sake the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. What's the next one? What's the last one? Torture lit and the body's gone. All of a sudden, there's someone I've been creeping up to. This person I just assumed it was a man. Oh my god. Alright, let's go to the evidence. Because I'm really... Go to the end of the evidence.
Okay.
No. Yeah, let's see. No, that doesn't matter. That's... So this could be something that was like planted? I don't think it matters right now. No. Okay. Okay. No. 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 No.
That's the ones I'm gonna show you.
Huh?
That's the ones the other one. The other evidence doesn't matter.
The evidence doesn't matter?
The other evidence doesn't matter. And I didn't show you.
Oh, okay.
So, when she woke up, she was lying on the floor at the training hall floor.
Yes.
Okay? And she got to the garden, the place had totally changed.
Yes.
Okay? She think that it was for her sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened.
Mm-hmm.
The torches were lit and the body was gone. All of the snow had been, all the snow around the snowland had been cleaned up too, since there was so much work. She just assumed that it was a man that did it.
So it could have been a woman. Or it could have been two women, or it could have been, or whatever. Oh my god. So it's not... What?
You are overthinking this by a lot. I'm so surprised they haven't gotten this. New statement. This is the new statement.
Okay.
Okay? I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened.
For my sake.
Yeah.
Who would want to protect Maya? That's the question, right?
That's not the question. The question is, did they do a good job?
No, because Maya was written on the...
Yeah, because Maya's name is on the written in blood.
Yeah.
The body of Elise Donham was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe that all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd.
Oh? And what would that be?
You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godo. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern?
Ah! You're right. Order! But, Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene?
Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow. Then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing.
But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern?
I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it.
Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern?
Well,
Oh.
Oh! Oh!
Because that motherfucker can't see very well. That motherfucker can't see colors very well. The motherfucker didn't notice it!
Prosecutor Godo, earlier in this trial you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought.
The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it.
But That doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that.
You're right. There's no way any normal person would.
What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright?
There's only one person involved in this incident who could have misseen the bloody writing altogether.
And who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing?
Maya? Am I looking at that right? Nope. That's Mia. No, okay, I see.
Mr. Godo, this is what you said yesterday.
My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything.
You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godo?
This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented.
This lantern, there's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood.
Nonsense! This lantern, just clean as a whistle.
Mr. Godo, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before. During the poisoning case at Tribulations.
This is the apron that the Delightfulness bird was wearing at the time. And somehow spilled coffee on it.
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godo. Why have you not explained the blood stain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor! The blood-colored stain that smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain.
You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red.
It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them?
So then, Mr. Godo, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern?
Hey, Gramps. Didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. Those look like water to me.
I wasn't sure about it until now, but
Also, Trite, you should probably wear a tie to court.
That's what I was thinking.
It's a little bit disrespectful.
I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godo is the murderer. But there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Mr. Godo, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Donham, also known as Miss Misty Fey.
It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you.
Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How's a little graffiti make me into a killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there.
I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red.
This is rich. Do go on, Trite.
The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow.
The snow? How so?
Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area?
Yes, why didn't he take just that area? Ah, could it be?
Yes. The killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so, he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark?
Not a chance, bitch. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine.
It seems that once again, this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godo?
Wait just a minute.
Maya.
What is it, witness?
Mr. Godo, is it the killer? After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up. Maya. You can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I might not look like it, but I'm... Ah! After the murder happened, you didn't even exist.
She didn't. I'm afraid I don't follow.
You senile, old man. We just established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me.
Maya. Do you plan to cover for Godo no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her.
Nicely done, Trite.
Very well. Let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearly was there at the inner temple too. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godo arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearly first, and cheered her right up.
Who is this Pearly?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Fay.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry. But what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on! Pearly would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be.
Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath!
The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness.
Mr. Godo.
Let's just move on to the cross-examination. If the defense has no objections.
This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright?
Let's get this cross-examination started.
Boo, 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 boo. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night.
So where did you think Pearl slept that night?
In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an acolyte's training.
But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place?
Seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya.
She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense.
Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Donham.
Next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anybody.
She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end.
Well, you see, Pearlie gets pretty scared when she's alone, and there weren't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times.
The inner temple side has two structures, the training hall and a spare prep room.
And there's also a storage shack, I think. That's about it.
There was a storage shack too? Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she really have examined a storage shack all that carefully?
Well, if it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate.
So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage shack?
The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room.
Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge.
What do you mean?
I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge.
Oh, well, Pearlie said that she was sleeping at the time. She said that she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times.
Poor little girl, all alone like that.
Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the sacred cavern, Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock.
She couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls.
What happened after the bridge was finally fixed? That's when Mr. Godo arrived at the inner temple for the first time.
So it was your first time on the inner temple side, Mr. Godo.
That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question?
Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness.
What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor.
Touché, Mr. Wright. Oh well. What do you have to say, Mr. Godo?
Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I would never would have visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains? I think I'll pass.
So he had never visited Hazakura Temple or the Inner Temple, huh?
You want to say something, Trite?
In any case, I have to find a crack in Godo's armor. While I cross-examine Maya, that is.
Very well, please go on with your testimony. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Professionals.
Okay.
After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the inner temple side, right?
Yes, Mr. Godo. He found Pearlie first and cheered her right up.
He cheered her up?
That's what Pearlie said. She said that she was a very... That's what Pearlie said. She said that he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godo.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict.
Cut it out. You're making me blush.
This guy is really beginning to get on my nerves, in more ways than one.
The truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation my own way. Goto style.
I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own judge style.
My own way.
In my own way, judge style.
Maybe I should ask some questions. Phoenix style.
Goto's investigation. Nope.
I like this option first.
Yeah, changed my mind there.
So you cheered Pearls up.
When I found that little girl, the first thing she asked was about her cousin, Maya Fey. Oh, really? The witch had burned down and she was huddled up in that tiny shack with no heat. Even though she must have had a truly terrifying night out there, she asked about you, before she said a thing about herself. Pearly, I noticed that you weren't anywhere on the inner temple side, but I couldn't find it and meant to tell her that. So I gave her my last cup. With milk and sugar, to hide the bitterness of the harsh truth.
What a sweet story. Oh.
He had a thermos of coffee? Why doesn't that surprise me? There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Goto when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the Inner Temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Stoneham.
Okay, let's go back to this a minute.
Dude.
Okay. Fine. Alright, we got it.
You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything?
Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern.
Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles.
The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall.
Beauty?
Misty Fey, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste.
Western taste? Could he find a stranger way to describe gravy?
So from there you headed for the prep room?
Wait a sec. What did Goto say just now? I think I just found this proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here.
Oh, you did this. Okay. Now what am I doing?
We couldn't find anyone. The next day, with the bridge finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Goto arrived in the temple for the first time. Okay, let's keep that in mind.
Yeah.
He found Pearly first and cheered her right up.
Yeah. So, remember what did Goto said. That's what Phoenix said. What did Goto say?
What did he say?
You gotta read it.
Yeah, but then I saw proverbial and I totally forgot what he had said. I was like, oh, proverbial. I gotta get this right. What did he say?
Hold on. I'll read it line for line.
All right.
Okay. Because you're such a freaking... I think you have like some sort of dementia, man. You should probably get that checked out. It's kind of concerning.
I can lose focus very easily.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay. Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Misty Fey, naturally, clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah.
So read that again.
Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Misty Fey, naturally, clad in her Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste.
So he had been there before. That wasn't the first time he was there because he was there before Misty Fey died. Or was killed.
There's a poster of her, and
Oh, fuck.
there's a poster of her.
Oh, shit. Damn it. So the gravy. Talking about the gravy.
Oh yeah.
So, how did he know that was Misty Faye if it was covered in gravy?
Mr. Godo, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went into the Inner Temple was long before the murder took place.
Why would you say that?
Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall.
Hanging scroll?
But Mr. Godo is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother.
Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this.
What's that wonderfully delicious smell?
The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy.
Gravy? But why gravy, Nick?
Because Pearls is a dumbass. Gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godo, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye.
Wait a minute, Nick.
Yes?
Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look, at the top. There's a crest there.
Ah, it's the mark of the master, correct?
Exactly. So if you know who the meaning of the mark...
Then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there.
True, but Mr. Godo described that what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Oh.
Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godo, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Inner Temple long before the crime took place.
Can I ask you for just one little thing, Chet?
What is it?
This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene.
Of course, Mr. Godo knew about the plan.
Huh?
What did... I mean,
What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan?
Is it possible that somebody else knew about the plan?
That someone else knew about the plan, the murder.
Yeah, the plan to murder.
Is it possible that someone else knew about the murder?
Yes. Well, knew about the plan to murder.
Whoa,
Before it
whoa,
happened.
oh. Go back to that letter. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
This.
Why?
Because it's a murder plan, basically. It's the plans of the murder.
It is the plans of the murder, but how do we know that somebody else could have known about the plan?
Because it was given to Pearl.
Yeah, but how do we know that Pearl wasn't the only one that read it?
Because someone else tried to burn it, right?
Pearl tried to burn it.
Well, because Morgan Fay wrote it. So she knew about it.
Yes.
Gave it to Pearls. Pearls knows about it.
Okay.
And Godo knows.
How does he know?
Because it was for him. They were for him.
It wasn't for him. Like, what do you?
Because he stole it. He knew because he's Morgan Fay. It was opened before.
There you go. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh my god.
This crime was actually planned over a year ago! Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future. And these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed.
Unsealed?
Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the inner temple.
And you still insist this crafty killer is me.
You bet I do.
But you just said that the instructions were hidden. That's right. Mr. Killer couldn't have known what the instructions were hidden.
If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out.
Yes, and when was that?
During a visit,
A visit?
Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden.
Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center?
Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godo.
Order, order, order! Mr. Godot, you're under fire again!
This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder.
Humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee.
Sorry for always asking, but what the fuck does that mean?
It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in a temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness.
That's right.
If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I'm certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress.
The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering what the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural.
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godo? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godo. For the same reason, huh?
Okay, Chet. I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you.
What's this?
There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably.
What the fuck? No. It can't be. That they're
Uh-huh.
related. That they're brother and sister. Or cousins.
Holy shit. Wow. You know, there's been like an entire case where this guy, you know, Diego Armando, he's a character.
Yeah.
He showed up.
Yeah.
And what was the vibe between him and this other character?
And Mia?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, friends.
They were fucking.
They were fucking?
They were fucking.
You think they were fucking?
They were. It's 100% confirmed. They were fucking.
They said we fuck.
Yes.
Wait, so it's she was covering for him just because it was Mia's ex-boyfriend? That was the whole reason?
Do you think not ex-boyfriend? Okay. It's not like they broke up. It's because she died.
Wait, they were together when Mia died?
Yes.
Why the fuck didn't we know about this?
Because he's been in a coma.
Oh fuck, I forgot about the coma thing. Oh, I totally forgot about the coma thing.
We've been going over it several times that he was poisoned.
That's fucking
And
right.
he went into a coma because he was poisoned.
Oh yeah, shit. Forgot all about that.
Oh my god. The biggest thing about Godo that we knew about was
right,
that he was
Got all fucked up. Yeah.
that he was poisoned by Dahlia
That's
Hawthorne,
right, we learned-
and that he was in a relationship with Mia.
We learned about it in the inner temple.
That as well, yes.
Yeah.
And also an entire case we learned about that.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. I think they're brother and sister.
There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister.
Yeah. Faye.
You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney.
Wait a second here. Mr. Godo is a defense attorney?
With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godo? His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago.
Diego Armando. That name rings a bell.
It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court. The tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Mia. You can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients. That pure, sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Megan and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. And one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria.
Ah, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned.
Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee.
Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all.
No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep coma.
I see.
My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. That's terrible. Apparently it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. And one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee.
5 years? You were asleep for 5 years?
And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Faye was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. And the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathed?
The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee. Dahlia Hawthorne. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's so sad. Someone like me, someone who had slipped away their best days. There were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live?
The first was you, trite.
Huh? Me?
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Faye would never have died. Much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her. But you let her die. It was all your fault.
It wasn't like that.
I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were.
So that's why you became a prosecutor.
My other reason for living, she goes by the name of Maya Faye. Huh? You mean me? It was the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Maya. Mia. Fuck. 1 year ago, when the Korean village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Faye was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect sort of position to do something about her.
That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it.
That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices.
Accomplices?
Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Faye. I especially needed the help of Iris. was to take the fall of my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey. But how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes. What? What do you mean officially? You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government.
Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Karain had great authority.
Even without her official position, Misty Fey would still wield a great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother is cooperating with you? Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you. She was always... That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve was to protect you, look at her staff.
Her staff? The one with the sword in it?
The day the plan was to be carried out, arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fey, if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. Mother. That night of the crime, it was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
You mean pearls, don't you?
We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you gonna do tonight?
Well,
If you like, you could come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Fey had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body.
What? What do you mean?
if she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
As Master Karain, Misty Fey's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Fey wouldn't be able to.
What? Is this true?
My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fey. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple, just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne.
Godo.
Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. Trite.
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney, but you're going to have to do the rest yourself.
The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fey. And I'm sad to say you, Mr. Godo.
Well, Trite, you're the real deal. You finish this thing once and for all. She was beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could finish this on your own. No, Nick, please don't.
Maya.
I heard the whole thing. My sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godo. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's Mr. Maynard put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too.
Maya, I know that.
Nick.
But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify.
Miss Faye, your testimony, please.
This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
All right, young lady, tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? Oh, God.
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I asked for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though. And she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
These red lights, I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden. Huh. Brains break, Chert. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? Looks like you still can't prove it.
Maya is telling the truth this time. I know it. The rest is up to me.
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final Proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness.
You know, the entire time, everybody in the comments have been hating the voice that you've given the judge.
Bullshit. Not a single bad comment.
Imagine. Like, this entire time, I haven't told you. Like, the first episode, people were like, this fucking voice sucks. And I never told you.
No.
Until today, the final episode. No.
I check in enough that I would know.
Yeah.
I would see it, be like, okay.
It's the only reason I'm getting likes is because of you. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights, 3 of them.
What the fuck?
Light shining in the dark? I don't think you could make a mistake about that.
Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. And I can't tell you for sure that they were from Mr. Goto's mask either.
I don't get the feeling she's covering for him anymore, but press fucking hard. But just after that, you turned towards the light and called for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Goto's mask?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember. After all, there was a person I couldn't identify in front of me.
Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly.
All right then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights?
I thought I asked for help, but just then I was splattered with blood.
That blood, was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood?
I think so, probably. Just at that moment, I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. It was a woman's voice.
So that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon. Is that right?
Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation.
Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that? She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her.
Struck back? How do you know that?
Well, you're right. I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sounds of the breathing and movement, and also the smell of blood.
You have witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life. So then, what did you do at that point?
I couldn't move. I could just barely make out the shadows moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do.
Could you still see the red lights you mentioned earlier?
Yes, I think so. But suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark.
They went out.
Yes, suddenly I couldn't see them at all.
What could it mean?
If the red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out right in the middle of a fight,
Maybe the mask was damaged.
or maybe it was knocked off.
Or maybe the batteries ran out. Right, Tret?
Or maybe those little red pinhead looking lights just stopped working.
What could have really happened then?
Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream.
What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
What? So then, that scream came from the killer?
That's gotta be it.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
That, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me.
Sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kinda wonder.
There's got to be a contradiction, so I'm gonna say
I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct.
Remember the testimony she just gave, before the killer let out a scream. Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
No, is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with the sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff.
If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trite.
There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as the weapon here.
Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff. What could she have used to strike back at the killer?
The dagger.
Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that.
This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree.
Yes. The detective found that this morning and brought it to me.
Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this. And she managed to wound him as well.
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim.
Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body.
So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer?
Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it to beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood.
Nice theory, Trite.
Order! Order in the court!
Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the result of a scientific test.
Let me ask you something, Chut. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that?
What?
Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom.
Yes? What does that prove?
Well, if I really were the killer, I could have just washed the blade off and implanted another person's blood on it.
But that's... can't be!
In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance.
What?
In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. All right then, witness.
Wait a minute!
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation. This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer.
That's right.
But if Mr. Goto had really been cut with the dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
Maya. Maybe he just changed his clothes. That'd solve the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder? Everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped there.
Ah, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr.
Goto was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes. Ah!
Order in the court. Let's see the witness.
Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him.
But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes?
Did the judge take smart pills during the last recess? Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. That way he wouldn't get any blood on them.
That's impossible, Trite. You know how cold it gets up there late at night?
Eh?
After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid.
Ah!
So that's all you got. I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this.
Ugh.
Right now, if me or Faye were here, she would have closed the book on this case already.
If Mia Fey were here?
So come on, Trite! Can you do it or not?
How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Goto of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence?
The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it.
That's good. A fighter to the bitter end, Trite. Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the ultimate penalty?
Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Goto? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need.
Give me a break. You've got nothing, Trite.
So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle.
All right then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you've got.
There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger.
But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a blood stain on his clothing.
There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound.
Did you say?
Hidden?
This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there were no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound.
It's the end of the line. The final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you've got. Where's this location where you say the killer hid his wound?
It's in the evidence?
Just tell me, where did the killer hide the wound?
Okay, the only thing I can think is it was his eyes.
So behind the mask.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was! Isn't that right, Trite? What was that just now? Here. It can't be. You're living on. Through him?
Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. It's beneath your mask! During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godo, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved.
Yeah! Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who had put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in the footsteps of the lawyer. I can never forgive you. That's what I thought. Mr. Godo. But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was me.
You yourself.
I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the hushness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask and threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit.
But, you saved Maya.
Yeah. That was my plan. Up until just now, anyway. What do you mean? Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away. Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick? But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother. But I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason? No, why? I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. Huh? I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me.
You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya.
Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not sure.
What do you mean by that?
At night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette, a part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there right in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could have been simply a desire for revenge. And now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. A stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up right where she left off, as a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything.
Mr. Godo.
I think you already know this. But if you don't, my name is Diego Armando. Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me. Thanks.
Your wound. It's bleeding.
Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears.
Tears?
Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment. Mr. Armando, you do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I then willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you
Apologize? To me for what?
for the case 5 years ago, of course.
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover?
Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me.
It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other.
Huh? What do you mean?
You and my sister, you only met twice.
Huh? We only met twice.
The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed.
No way. It can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were...
For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
Huh? It wasn't Dahlia?
I hope one day you can forgive me, Feeny.
You mean...
That's right. I lied to you. For 8 months.
But why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you that bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and the surveillance, she couldn't move about freely.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
prepared for the worst?
She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice.
You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you?
She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance.
And that's why you came to me. You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place.
But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened.
That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime, and she would confer with you.
I think she must have noticed
Noticed what?
my feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her, even if it meant her life or mine.
Iris.
After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings toward you, they changed.
I have something to say to you, too.
Yes?
You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you.
Thank you. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, Elise Donham. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Court is now adjourned.
Good job, Mack.
Thanks.
Thanks, man.
So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended, it was justice really served. The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by his own hand, by my own hand. Of course, justice was served. Mia! I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant. But I couldn't save Mr. Armando, the man who cared so deeply for you. You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible. You mean, with that verdict? I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me. Mia, you've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you. Mia, I'm sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix. I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey, I've found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick,
Maya.
I guess it's just like my sis said.
Mia? What did she say?
At nights, my phone's going off. That was my alarm.
Must be important.
Yeah, that's my alarm. I was supposed to wake up now.
Oh.
Yeah. At night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice of what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end.
But...
Come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Be sis? I'm sure I was too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick.
Maya. How? How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. You even saw your own mother murdered. Ouch! Francisca!
Still as softy as always, Phoenix Light. Excellent work, right? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth? When did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Francisca have actually been helping me.
Helping you?
If these two hadn't been here on the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow. But where were you, Nick? I heard he fell into the river and caught a nasty cold, which forced him to sleep all day. Yes, he laid in a bed, shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head. Oh, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too. Francisca?
I don't suppose. There's room for me in this group hug. Is there? Oh, Larry.
What's with the longer than usual face?
I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of use to anyone. Not even once. That's not true, right, Nick?
What? You're asking me?
Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right?
Huh? Oh, yeah, of course.
I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I was gone for good.
No. Oh, yeah. Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
What? Me? Why are you making that face, Angie? Yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. Do you really mean it? What about you, Fancy? I did draw you as well, too. Ah! My beauty can't possibly be captured by mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something. So will you do it? Like you promised? You're going to model for my next picture book, Fancy's Whippity Whip trip? Yeah! Don't get carried away! Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. The painting of Pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around.
Pearls. Where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya.
Oh, I'll go look for her. I'll be right back. Hey, Pearlie! Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you are wondering how Maya could be so cheerful, despite all that had happened.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Siska. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well.
I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears. But I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can. What do you mean by now is exactly the time? I wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry.
Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya. Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow!
And tell me, Phoenix Wright, it was my face being stood on for.
Pearl.
Pearl Faye.
The poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Faye clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya.
But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya's Faye's mother was killed and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable.
And that's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake. Till she can see her smile again.
Oh, hey! So this is where you all were. Wow, looks like we got quite the bunch here. Oh! What was that for, sir?
Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own.
Sup, Oh, what the hell?
What's up, Detective Gumshoe?
Hey, yo, what's up?
Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary's just sort of kind of gone down by a teeny weeny bit. but it's all right. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight. Yo!
Good luck, Scruffy. That rip was your reward.
Detective Gumshoe? You said a first-class French restaurant. You don't mean...
Trey Beyond, where else?
I knew it. We're doomed.
Come on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, crybaby. You're invited too.
Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser shack eating potatoes.
You know, Maya's taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong?
Nick, what do I do? Pearly, I can't find her anywhere.
Huh?
I bet she just went back home, that's all.
I thought so too, so I called the village, but no one has heard from her. This has never happened before. As I figured, she has been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya. But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe,
Yeah, what is it, pal?
could you guys go on ahead?
But what about you?
Maya and I will join you guys once we find pearls.
Nick,
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be here. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, but you're the... Ah!
very well, Phoenix Knight. We'll go on ahead. You'll keep us waiting, right?
We won't.
But where should we look? Where could Pearly have gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that pearls might have gone to.
WrestleMania. Asakura Temple.
For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started.
What's this? You're all back again so soon?
Sister Bikini.
I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight.
She's here? Pearly is here.
She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her?
Okay. Pearly's not here.
Ah! Maya! The hanging scroll!
Someone cleaned it off.
It's gotta be pearls.
Ah! Mystic Maya! Pearly! Why? Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya. Mystic Maya! I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that it's Maya's mother.
That's why you came here?
It's the least I could do to pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother is gone. But how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie just to make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya.
I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty.
Sister Bikini.
Your mother, Mystic Misty. was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night.
After dishonoring the good name of Crane, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts. It's true. She'll always be with me until the day I die.
Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets.
She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh?
Huh?
There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? To never... to never take the charm off until the day you die.
That's the Master's talisman.
The thing that Misty kept by her heart. And would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents.
That's...
A photo?
Mother.
It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Even when the battle is over, and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return, time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother too. I learned that from all of them. Well, shall we get going? Everyone's waiting. This is a day to remember. A day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today.
But I still can't.
Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise.
I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 for when you come back.
Alright, we're gonna have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance.
Okay, Miss Maya, I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight.
You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but,
What is it, Nick?
reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3?
Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us.
Huh?
I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you.
Huh? Huh?
It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course, naturally.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you can do anything for Miss Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right?
We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time. Right, Nick?
You know, I was wondering if I can say just one little thing.
Sure, of course you can.
Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it.
I'm getting goosebumps too.
Well then, here goes nothing.
That's the end of Trials and Tribulations.
Holy shit. What was he gonna say?
Objection.
Oh,
Yeah.
objection to the. Oh, gotcha.
I really have to work extra hard now. Master of Crane and the office, manager of Vanico Law Offices. I'd have to be a good big sister to Pearly and Nick, too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that. Oh, I gotta get to the credits. I'm so behind.
So it's true. Mr. Nick really is Mr. Myers' knight in shining armor. He went through with the special course, all the way to the end. Actually, I heard that there's a legendary ultra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the two of them by making them a secret reservation.
Okay. Fuck! Oh.
Maggie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off.
Yes, but somehow you just don't seem the same. I guess a dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir.
Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself silly.
Mr. Wright, I am once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasure for Crane exhibit was a great success. I even got to see Miss Roncama, who I hadn't seen in almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip, and that I must show you what I've learned. Jesse and I started a company called Master Consulting.
Oh, I forgot what I...
Go quickly!
We're dedicated to stopping the...
I thought it was cutting out, please!
Pretty cute, huh?
Oh my god. Well, we also sell plants to criminals. It's kind of a side business. I wonder if it's okay. Sometimes I think that maybe it's the first criminals. You can't just contemplate what you think the voice of what it
I
is.
fucking forgot.
It goes automatically.
I remember it now.
I wanted to show my appreciation to Mr. Wright for exterminating Don Tigre, so I lent him $500,000 in a tea set, a special thick tea, one I mixed with my own 2 hands. I bet he's drinking it now, winning through compromise.
I'm just holding it away. A weakly, grumbling, clown-nosed waste of flesh. At least, that's what I thought. My grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. You talk about embarrassing. 69 years old and I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper.
Okay, next is you. I finally found the credits.
As usual, we have an abundance of work to do. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elg. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is Adam Mata. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly.
You also next.
My, more reporters! Since the murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines liked us because I provide such a nice visual. Especially in spring, I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Why the fuck she talks so fast?
Turn off on the Japanese language just quick. You've turned into such a respectable man, Feeny. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed. Okay, you ready? All of these people are localizers for the game.
What's this? I'm back from a long and tiring vacation and no one is here to greet me? I guess while I was gone, my little whip started my buddy equipped and now I've got no one. And what kind of lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyway? With all the flashing lights and switches, I felt like some kind of space alien. And now what am I gonna do with this macadamia nuts I brought back for everyone? I'll bring them over for edgy proof. This is exactly the answer I saw. I can't exactly accept these, I'm afraid. So I'm afraid just something that's just as painful as a fragile heart. Oh, would I ever see a fine gentleman who treat me like a refined lady?
Holy shit. I hate her. Oh, I hate him more.
I finally found something I love to do. Fancy's rippity whip trip. It's going to turn the art world on its head. I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artiste. Really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all. Let's see what he painted. That's the end of the trilogy.
Wow. Wow.
So Beck, tell me what you thought.
Yeah, you know, it was can't complain. It was good.
You can't complain.
I can't complain.
I guess that's the best compliment you could give. I can't complain. Really.
Yeah, I mean, it was,
Specifically, I mean, like, the last case.
yes, I like it. You know, I think, you know, I didn't see Godot coming. Guess I should have, but I didn't. I think that it was intricate. There was multiple mysteries with mysteries within mysteries within mysteries, and that was cool. And I like how it starts with Edgeworth and then you go back to Phoenix, and it's very well constructed.
It is the general consensus that's the best case in the series.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah. Considering like all the
right.
games that we're going to go through next, whatever, this is the best case. So it all goes down from here. All the other cases are shit compared to this one, of course. But Trials and Tribulations is my favorite Ace Attorney game.
Yeah, oh, it's definitely the best one.
Yeah.
It's definitely the best one.
What do you think about like Diego Armando himself?
Great character, because like, you know, they give it the way that they structured the whole game just served to Mia, it served to Dahlia, it served to Godot just like so well. And I think, you know, you know what makes him a great villain is that he isn't really like a villain.
Yeah.
Like, the best villains are the ones that you genuinely like can understand and like sympathize with.
Yeah.
And for that, I mean, it's great. Yeah, he's great. I like him a lot.
There's like tons of foreshadowing throughout the game.
Yeah.
Whenever Mia first showed up in the Stolen Turnabout, Godot was just like speechless. Like, this is the first time we've ever seen him like actually not say anything and be like a little bit conflicted. And he's like, oh, never mind. And he got back into, you know, being the suave cool guy. Yeah. how he talks to Mia, like as if like we know we know each other, but you know I don't want to give it away, that type of thing.
Right.
I try to deliver my lines in that way. As well, I mean, like Dio Melmondo's name is mentioned in the first case. I mean, saying that because Grossberg said that the victim of the
with the first case of
not the series
of this one.
of this game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because Grossberg is like, by the way, this incident that I'm giving you papers for is the incident where your boyfriend was killed. Yeah.
Right.
Also, this was definitely unintentional because you know when translating the game, people have different names and whatever, so they can make it more Americanized. But you know the detail of that Goto cannot see red on the white background, and his constant conflict was that he believes that Phoenix was the reason that Mia was killed. Who is the actual reason?
Holy shit,
that Mia was
red
killed
white.
was red white.
And that was unintentional?
That was unintentional.
Holy shit, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because his name's not red white in Japan, you know.
Right, but wow.
Yeah, it was
that's
just, like,
crazy.
Thinking about that. Like,
So
like,
the translators didn't do that on purpose?
I don't know if the translators did that, but definitely Shitakame did not do that on purpose.
Right, that makes sense, but
I don't know if the
that's
translators
crazy.
did that on purpose.
wow.
Because the translators actually do put a lot of effort into the game.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine.
Um,
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. That's cool.
and then I was like, a series as a whole, my opinion, because my opinion matters more than yours.
Yeah.
My opinion is that I really enjoyed the Ace Attorney series. I think it's very well written, very charismatic characters. I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah.
even Larry Butt, okay, who is a source of conflict. I still think he's a very lovable, like dorky guy. I think he's a lovable dorky guy.
Hate him.
Like the reason you hate him is because they've written him so well. He's supposed to be unpredictable, very stupid, but yet also like you can kind of see what he was thinking about, why he does that, and like no matter what, Larry Butts is not going to be the killer. So like, okay, we know that Larry's not the killer, but obviously he saw something so ridiculous that like only Larry Butts would get into that situation.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Old Bag, I don't have any defense for Old Bag, but I do like Old Bag in the first in Turnabout Samurai because she actually is like more of like a more less of a jokey character. She was actually like distraught from Jack Hammer's death.
Right.
But then they brought her back, and then she's like, I'm in love with Edgeworth, and she being beep beep type of thing. But other than that, Phoenix Wright himself, I think it's pretty good. I mean, like the writing with like Phoenix Wright is like trying to get into like the player's mind. Basically, like whenever like the judge says something stupid, and the Phoenix is like, well, that was pretty stupid, he said.
Right.
Like the player is thinking that themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
like he's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like.
So they don't follow up. There's not a follow up to this story whatsoever. Like with Phoenix.
Shitakame was not planning on making another game. Like this is him making it a conclusion.
Well, okay.
Bringing it to a conclusion.
It was, to me, very obvious they were trying to set up Phoenix and Maya throughout this game.
I don't think that at all. I think from the outside perspective, yes, but like I think two of them it's entirely platonic.
Which is like what I always felt too, like, and that's why I was like, oh my god, they're gonna do this and I'm gonna hate it. I'm so fucking glad they didn't do it.
No.
Do you think they just did it so people would talk about it? Be like, are they gonna get together? Or test the waters and see if people even wanted that?
Well, I suppose like in
because they very much were like,
for like Japanese audiences, I think that they would like eat that up. But yeah,
because even like there was like moments I can't remember what it was where like Maya, like Pearls was like sort of outing Maya and like these like secret feelings she may have had for Phoenix. She was like, stop. She was all like embarrassed and she was like, shut up, Pearls, and shit like that. They very much were like, I felt like they were putting their toes in there, like Phoenix and Maya, Phoenix and Maya, Phoenix and Maya, and I was like, fuck no, no. And then thank God at the end they didn't.
Yeah, I mean even for like my first time playing it, I didn't think that they were gonna get into a relationship. I think that it's just like people from an outside perspective obviously think that they're like lovers and whatever, but you know, but in reality they like actually know each other. They're pretty good friends.
Yeah,
and
that's
whatever.
good. I was glad of that. So then what? Like, I mean, the credits. There's a couple things that like Phoenix gets $500,000 and whatever. But like, what? Like, I feel like they left like Phoenix and Iris kind of open a bit. Like, it kind of seems like there was maybe like a, oh, serve your time and then we'll test this out afterwards sort of thing.
Yeah, that's definitely the implication. But I'm gonna kind of ruin it for you. Sorry.
Okay.
Iris never shows up again in the series.
Okay.
So
But wait, so Phoenix shows up again in the series?
possibly,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But like,
Okay.
so Iris is
So, like, obviously, like, Gumshoe keeps job, whatever, gets with Maggie. But, like, I mean, it's not that happiness completely relies on being with a woman, but, like, I feel like Phoenix loved Mia. Like, actually was, like, in love with her.
I did not see that at all.
You don't think so?
No, not, through my first playthroughs, no. And even through, this is my third playthrough now. Definitely don't see it. I don't see it at all. I see that Mia as more of a mentor, more of like a authority figure to Phoenix, someone to guide him. Type of
Yeah.
thing. That's
yeah.
what. That's
well,
what I see
yeah, I
the
mean, I
relationship.
think that's, yeah. So what? So Phoenix just, I guess it's up to interpretation, I guess. I like that. I like it's more open-ended. They kind of leave it on the table and don't tell us everything, because they should make another one. They should make another trilogy. Just like new set, build up another big mystery. Time has passed. Maybe Phoenix got a kid, got some kids, a wife. Maya's grown up. Pearls has grown up. Phoenix is now. Wait, Phoenix is now fucking. He's a fucking spirit medium now.
He's spirit medium. Well, it's just more like Maya's like trying to get Phoenix more involved with like her culture and stuff like that and whatever.
Right.
But yeah, the next game, Ace Attorney 4.
Wait. What do you mean Ace Attorney 4?
Ace Attorney 4.
Phoenix, right? Ace Attorney 4?
It's called Ace Attorney 4.
With Phoenix?
It's called Ace Attorney 4.
Who the fuck's in it?
I'm telling you, it's called Ace Attorney 4. The judge is in it. I'll tell you the name though.
Who the fuck's the main character in Ace Attorney 4?
Ace Attorney. His name is Ace Attorney, and then his last name is it's like a title for it. That's what it is. Anyway, we're going to do that.
Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
You'll see in like 6 months. Yeah, we're gonna do that in like August. I would say. I would think so. We're gonna do like so.
So this is just this. Wait, so this channel, you should have just called it Ace Attorney.
Well, no, we're
That's
gonna
all
do
we're gonna
other
play?
stuff. It's just that like in between a bunch of games, we're gonna be doing Ace Attorney.
Okay, then how about November, August? We're coming back in July.
Yeah.
1 month and then we're back into Ace Attorney. So it's called Ace Attorney 4.
Yeah, it's Ace Attorney 4.
So what else?
I'm not telling you anything.
Well, I'm just gonna Google it then.
Don't Google it.
Why?
Because it ruins the experience for you. I don't want you to know about the spoilers.
So when you played it for the first time, you had no idea what it was.
Yes, honestly, yes. I'm like, okay, what's the next game? Ace Attorney 4? Okay, let me go through. Let me play it.
Okay.
Holy shit! Fucking Pearls is 27 or whatever.
So when did this last game come out? Trials and Tribulations.
This is 2004.
Okay, and then when did the Ace Attorney 4 come out?
2000. I think it was 6. It's either 6 or 7.
So when was the last like Ace Attorney game that came out?
Last official Ace Attorney game?
Or just like in the universe or whatever.
2018.
What was that one called?
It was
Was it the fucking Sherlock Holmes one?
yeah. It was the Great Ace Attorney 2. That came out. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
No Gumshoe game?
we don't have a Gumshoe game, unfortunately. But
Are there any talks to make Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, like bring it back?
there's one game in development.
Really?
Yes, but that's all we got. That's all we. The information we got is that, hey, by the way, Ace Attorney is in development. It's gonna happen.
Do you know how fun it would be?
But then COVID came in and like people were like, oh well, shit, deadlines and whatever.
You know how fun it'd be if it came out and we played it together for the first time?
I know. That's why.
That'd be great.
That's why we gotta get through these. We gotta get through these as quickly as possible.
That'd be awesome. We could experience it together, fuck up together.
Yeah. But unfortunately, Mack is going to be focusing on moving, being adult, whatever. Well, I'm going to take over.
Just give it time. I won't be an adult for long. Okay,
of
once I'm
course.
settled in. Yeah.
So the next 2 months, 2 months, 3 months.
3 months. Yeah.
Next 3 months, I'm taking over the channel.
That's right.
I'm going to be doing some sort of new content. I'm going to be doing dumpster diving, bringing that back. Okay.
Yes.
But I'm going to do that episodically rather than having like a whole edit, because that takes a lot more time to edit and stuff like that. Because I mean, like the Bad Boys dumpster diving took me probably
So long. Took like 6 months.
that took me 6 months to do.
Yeah.
So I think that like if I do it like in this format, then I can just get bad games out and keep on going out. Another thing I was considering was doing a Ace Attorney fan game. Just me. And so like I have no idea what happens. It's completely based on like interpretation or whatever. I look up the most well-received fan game, like a game that even like Capcom themselves could have made. Yeah, and then I go through that, criticizing myself, show you how good I am at Ace Attorney. I'm like this fucking noob. Yeah, that's another idea. Also, multiplayer matches online. Like I could do like Valorant, CS:GO. I could even like show fucking Minecraft. I don't care. I'm doing whatever I want on this channel. Fuck you guys. But for the next 90 days, it's my channel now.
And I'll be watching every single one. Commenting, liking, subscribing. I'm already subscribed. I already got that bell.
Go ahead and unsubscribe. Subscribe again.
Yeah, it's good for us. Yeah, that'll be fun. And then we'll be back. Probably like second week of July.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be back. Yeah.
Alright, so
that's the end of season 1.
Season 1, yes. Until then, we're gonna see you like past the 1 year anniversary of Modern Fossil. So I love you guys.
I love you too.
Unless you have something else to say.
Well, just to throw it back to the beginning, stay racist.
Stay
Remember when we
racist.
said that?
Yep.
I said stay racist, stay sexy.
Fuck, it's up there.
Oh yeah.
I left the bottles up there.
Oh god. Remember when I fell asleep? Oh, season 1. You need to make a bet.
There you go.
We need to make the best of season 1 moments. Remember when I fucking fell asleep? Or episode 1 was maybe the most miserable thing I've ever done in my life.
Really?
It was so
Oh, it was so hot.
fucking hot. I left, dude, and I think I like, I don't even remember exactly how I felt. It was just like, that was the most, I felt like I was in an internment camp. It was
Oh my God.
terrible, dude. It was so ungodly hot in here. Ungodly hot. But yeah, it was fun. Can't wait for season 2. And thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
And yeah. Oh god, okay.
See you guys.
Love
man.
you.
Love you. Got a pistol bang!